Okay, this week's skill is KRL 2.3. It's I can identify the characters in a story. How do we do that? We ask who are the people, animals, or objects that are talking. Why? Why do we need to know this? Good readers pay attention to the characters in the story. And again, the characters are people, animals, or objects that do the talking in the story. And this helps us to understand the story better. Again, our I can statement is I can identify the characters in a story. Today's read aloud is Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack and the Beanstalk is adapted by Mara Alperin and is illustrated by Mark Chambers. Deep in the countryside lived a widow and her son, Jack. Their cottage was crumbling and their clothes were patched. They were very, very poor. One day, Jack's mother said, "We must sell our cow. Take her to market, Jack, and bring home some gold pieces." And so he set off to town. But before Jack had gotten far away, he met a strange little man. "That's a fine cow," the man said. "I'll swap you 5 magic beans for her." "Magic beans?" said Jack. "Are they really magic?" "Magic they are, or chop off my beard and knit it into a jumper," croaked the little man. Magic beans! Jack couldn't wait to tell his mother. He clutched them tightly and ran all the way home. Jack's mother was furious. "We need money, not useless old beans," she cried, as she threw them out of the window in disgust. But late that night, a tiny bean sprouted and poked out of the ground. And then it grew and grew and grew. The next morning, the beanstalk stretched high into the sky. "The beans were magic," Jack cried. "But what's at the top?" Jack climbed up, up, up the beanstalk. At last, he'd reached the very top. There, shimmering in the sunlight, was a magnificent castle. Just then, Jack's stomach rumbled. "I must find some breakfast," he thought, and he tapped on the castle door. The door creaked open, and a huge giantess smiled down. "Hello," Jack shouted up. "Please, do you have any food?" "You poor thing," boomed the giantess. "Come right in, but quickly before the giant gets up." What a marvelous feast! There was an enormous loaf of bread and a gigantic jar of jelly. Jack dug in at once. But suddenly, the room began to shake. Boom! 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 "Oh my goodness," cried the giantess. "He's coming," and she shoved Jack under a teacup to hide. Into the room stomped a big, scary, hungry giant. "Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman," he said. Be he alive or be he dead, if you grind his bones, I'll grind his bones to make my bread. Don't be silly. There's nobody here but us, the giantess scolded. Now go and wash before breakfast. Jack trembled. I must leave now, he thought. He was halfway down the hall when he heard squawk! It was a hen with bright golden feathers. Help, she clucked. Set me free, and I'll lay you golden eggs every morning. Jack scooped up the hen, but then he heard huge footsteps thundering after them. Fee, fi, fo, fum, roared the giant. I smell the blood of an Englishman, and there he is. Jack raced out of the door. He jumped and slid down the beanstalk. Down, 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 all the way back to his cottage. Mother, quick, bring the axe, he shouted. Jack's mother swung the axe at the beanstalk. Thwack! It shuddered and shook, and then the giant came tumbling down. Fee, fi, fo, crash. And that was the end of the giant. Jack hugged his mother tight. Look at what I found, he said, and he showed her the golden hen. Oh, Jack, said his mother, I'm so glad you're safe, and you were right about those magic beans. So Jack and his mother and the golden hen all lived happily ever after, and with lots of golden eggs, they were never poor again. Now, when I think about the story, Jack and the Beanstalk, I know that good readers and good listeners are always asking themselves questions. And so, I know that to find the main characters, I have to look for clues in my story. I have to pay attention to who's talking. I have to pay attention to who's doing most of the activities in the story. And I have to ask myself, who is the main characters? So I know when I read or when I've listened to and when I've just read Jack and the Beanstalk, who was talking in the story? Well, Mom, the giantess, the giant, they were talking. Jack was talking, of course. They must be characters. Well, who was doing the most talking? I think that would be Jack. Why is it good to know? Why is it good to know the characters of a story? Well, it's good to know because good readers pay attention to the characters to help them understand what's happening in the story. So how? So what are we doing? What are we studying? We're studying who the characters are in the story. How do we do that? We pay very close attention to who's doing the talking. And why do we need to know that? Because good readers pay attention to the characters to help them understand what is happening in the story. All right. Now you have activities to go at your read aloud. Have a great day of learning. Bye.